So the police have now started knocking on doors of illegal streamers. Now, this is not clickbait, this is not fake news, this is not sensationalism. This has now started happening more and more. I've actually got video footage of one of the previous break-ins, so make sure you do stay tuned for that. Now, this was reported yesterday across a number of different papers in the UK. If we just jump over to one of them now. So major UK Fire TV Stick crackdown. It will stop you streaming Sky channels for free. It says if you do stream those channels for free on your Fire TV Stick, you could soon get a knock on the door telling you to stop. Now, if you have been watching platforms such as that one, on a Fire Stick, be warned that there's a new crackdown which has just been announced, which means you could get a letter through the door or even a knock at the door asking you to stop illegal streaming or face actions from the UK authorities. Now, I think it's also worth mentioning that most of these newspapers are focusing on the UK. In fact, do leave me a comment below if you've ever heard any kind of incident in another country where either somebody has had a knock on the door or somebody has received a letter for illegal streaming. Do leave me that comment below. Now it goes on to say that with the cost of living crisis still hurting our wallets, it seems that more and more of us are switching over to free ways or cheaper ways of watching premium content. And it's not just the cost of living, it's primarily the fact that these subscription services, these official services, keep on increasing their prices, and the fact that there's just now so many of them. So it's not a case of that I can subscribe to one official service like maybe Disney Plus or Netflix and get access to everything. The way they've segregated or split up the content, it means I need to subscribe to 10 different services if I want to watch all of that content officially. And because of that, you can see why people would struggle to pay for 10 different subscription services and why they may look for third-party or alternative add-ons. Here we can see the main federation, which is FACT, which is the Federation Against Copyright Theft, has confirmed that they've started sending out these cease and desist letters to those it thinks are watching content without permission. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, because how are these guys, this FACT organization, how are they able to determine what somebody is doing in the privacy of their own home? So do they have access to monitor our traffic? Do they have access to see what we're watching? I suspect they don't, but they do have access to the ISPs, and ISPs, under certain conditions, can provide that data. And this is obviously where using something like a VPN is always recommended, because once you activate your VPN, it really minimizes what your ISP or anybody online can see what you're actually doing. Now, it says that to make things even more frightening, teams from FACT have even started showing up on the doorsteps of consumers thought to be watching movies, shows, sports action without paying, with a new partnership from Crime Stoppers. So again, it's not just letters. It looks like for some people, they are actually knocking on the door and telling them to, stop streaming. And this is actually a funny comment that I saw on another article where they're saying that with all of the crime out there, the more serious, robberies, shootings, stabbings, all that kind of more serious stuff, or even with big companies avoiding tax, not paying any tax, instead of sending the police to go and investigate those issues, they're going to go after poor Bobby, who's just trying to watch some free movies on cinema. I mean, why not go after the real criminals? Why not go after the real crime that actually matters? Let's now quickly look at this video that was shared by the police. Okay, so 2 men have been arrested in a fraud and money laundering operation. They're thought to have made 800k from pirate TV packages. Detectives carried out warrants in those locations there. You can see some of the stuff that they've seized. They had some server setups. I think that was actually a bunch of Fire Sticks, lots of cash, even more Fire Sticks, and some firearms. And they've been taken into custody. Now, it says that FACT constantly monitors the digital landscape to combat illegal streaming activities in the UK and in Ireland. And its sole aim is to help UK homes understand that watching illegal streams could end up leaving them with harmful viruses on their PCs and personal data, including bank details, in the hand of crooks. So again, it does seem a little bit scare tactics that if you use one of these streaming applications, you're going to get viruses on your computer, you're going to get viruses on your home network, and your bank details or your financial sensitive information could be handed over to crooks. Again, I personally think this is scare tactics, because why would somebody be using an application that's a known application? Why would that come with viruses? If it did have viruses, then it wouldn't be popular and it will get shut down very quickly. So again, I do think that's actually scare tactics. But as always, if you want to protect your privacy online, I would always recommend using a VPN. If you want to use the same VPN that I'm using, do have a look in the video description and pinned comment if you want to take up a special offer they've got for the next 2 weeks. But that's the end of the article, guys. So do leave me a comment below. Let me know if anything like this has happened or if you've heard of this kind of news in any other country. Also, let me know if you are going to change your streaming habits. Are you going to stop streaming this kind of content? Are you going to use a VPN if you weren't using a VPN already? Or are you going to do absolutely nothing because for you, this is just total BS? So do leave me a comment below. Let me know and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.